What's going on, guys? I'm making this Wednesday video, like I told you guys I would. I'm gonna go over a few articles of something that kind of caught my attention. Bitcoin may rise to $3,000 by 2017. I definitely do believe it might. We still have a lot of wiggle room. The year is not up. The holiday season hasn't even come yet. So we're already at $1,700. I definitely could see us being at $3,000. It's not that far of a reach at all, especially at the pace it's going, especially how many countries are starting to be involved. We have India really starting to be involved now. We have South Korea. We have Australia. We have all these countries that really, it's not just America and China anymore. There are other countries coming into play. Um, and I do see a lot of countries being a little bit more relaxed about cryptocurrency than they were before. So that might put a little bit of ease on the price than it used to be. Right now, the littlest thing send a chain reaction and people would just start selling. Of course, the price will start picking back up, but I'm starting to notice less and less of that starting to happen. China's flexing their muscles sometimes, but there's a lot less people panicking than they were before. So I definitely do see the price hitting $3,000 is really nothing. Honestly, the speed that Bitcoin grows is better than any investment that I can ever suggest to anyone. There's really no other investment that moves as quick as Bitcoin and actually has something of value that other people would want. Um, and other people can actually obtain right now. That's the thing. A lot of people talk about, oh, you should invest in real estate. Not everyone has that type of money to buy a house. Reality, a lot of people don't have that type of money to buy a house or have that credit to buy a house. Um, Bitcoin, you don't really need any of that. You just spend a little bit of money and hold on to it for as long as you can, and you can actually get something back in return. Your investment pays off. As far as anything else, gold, yes, gold is good. It's safe. You get to hold it. No one can really take it from you. No one can hack it. But as far as it giving you a better return than Bitcoin, I don't. That's not really happening. Gold is safe, yes, but as far as getting a huge return, you don't really get that much of a return. Not like how you do with Bitcoin. So there's really not much of an investment that I could think of that could beat Bitcoin. I do feel the price is going to start going up because people are starting to realize, they heard about Bitcoin before. Um, and it's probably just like me. When I first heard about Bitcoin, I didn't really pay too much attention to it until years later. I heard about it again. I understood what it was, and then I had to be a part of it. And I feel that's what people are starting to wake up to now. And now they're starting to see the price go up to $1,700. It's being talked about on the news. A lot of people are jumping into this. I don't know if this might be a correction, might be ahead. I don't know. There might most likely have to be somewhat of a correction just about the speed that we were going. There's definitely been a bull run, so there might be a little correction, but I think it would pick right back up to where it was going, the previous path. So I definitely can see a $3,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year. I definitely suggest people holding their coins. Don't just sell it off. Don't trade it off. You will regret it. You might make a little bit of money now, but then you can't predict Bitcoin. You don't know when the price might fly up. It might fly up just like how it flew up now. No one was really knowing that it was going to fly up to $1,700, or when it was like $1,000. Now we're over here at 17, almost $1,800. I think it did hit $1,800. No one was expecting that. So flipping and trading and it's risky. You're taking a huge risk. I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying, definitely risky. Another article: Ripple overtakes Ethereum and becomes the second largest cryptocurrency. Yeah, I seen that. I actually seen that. I was looking at it. I seen the charts. I see Ripple overtaking Ethereum. I was like, wow. I definitely knew that wasn't gonna last very long. I definitely Ripple doesn't offer any. I'm not trying to rip on Ripple. Well, yeah. I really don't like Ripple that much. It's too much centered around the banking system, which I personally was trying to get away from. I don't like that. That's the whole reason why I came to Bitcoin. I felt that was a way, not against the banking system, but a way to be your own independent bank. You take control of your own life. I feel Ripple kind of just like wiggles his way in there, and it's just not something I'm really about. But I actually like Ethereum more than Ripple, and you guys know how I feel about Ethereum. But I definitely seen that Ethereum has more to offer than Ripple as far as diversity. Ethereum could pretty much, you could build on it. You could build pretty much almost anything you want on Ethereum. So I felt the value is more into Ethereum than Ripple. So I knew that was going to correct very soon. I just feel like there's a lot of hype going around Ripple, and it's unnecessary hype. There's really nothing going on that's different from Ripple. Maybe just a few bankers pumping it up a little bit to trying to entice people to buy it. But yeah, that's not for me. I'm not really sticking with that. That's just not my cup of tea. So I don't know. As far as long term with all these altcoins, I don't really know. We did kind of see what might happen. I'm not saying, there's a difference between having a top tier altcoin and a low tier altcoin. And you almost know which one is a low tier altcoin when you buy it and you're checking your Poloniex every 5 minutes and you're checking it on your phone every 20 seconds. Then you kind of know you have something that you might not really want to hold for a long time. If you're doing that, then maybe that's not something you want to buy. That's probably something you want to make a quick trade if you want to. But to buy and hold, if you have to keep checking, maybe it's not the coin for you. Maybe you might want to rethink it. If you like Ethereum and you can buy Ethereum and you can hold Ethereum and not have to check your phone or your Poloniex or your wallet every 2 seconds, then maybe that is a coin for you. Maybe you really do believe in it. Same thing with Dash. If you feel the same way about Dash and you don't have to keep checking on it to worry about the price, then maybe that's a coin for you. If you do that with Litecoin or Monero, then I'm not knocking altcoins. It's just I see a lot of people that buy them and get nervous holding them and just sell it. If you're gonna buy it, just hold it. If you feel you can actually hold it for a very long time, then fine, maybe that is a coin for you. Me, I like Bitcoin. I feel there's a large community behind it. There's a lot of development going on behind it, and that's the coin to start off with. I'm not knocking the rest of them. I do like Dash. I actually own a little bit of Dash. Definitely not more than Bitcoin, but it just have a little bit out there. I feel by me buying Dash, I feel like I'm actually supporting Dash and helping it grow. I'm definitely not buying that much, so I'm definitely not contributing that much to the growth, but it definitely, something I'm interested compared to a lot of these other coins. Not knocking Litecoin. I do like Litecoin. It's just for right now, seeing Litecoin at such a low price for so long. It's like at $3.95 for the longest, and now to see it, like what? Where are we at? We are at Litecoin, $36. Wow. I don't know. I don't know if that price can hold. 38. Sorry, I'm Poloniex. But I don't know if that price can hold. I really don't know if that price is going to hold long term. I know there's a lot of hype around SegWit. So I'm thinking maybe, and we only have like a day left between SegWit activating for Litecoin. So maybe that's just a buildup of hype. And a lot of people are just buying into it, speculating that it might pump up. I almost feel, and maybe I might be wrong, so don't make any investment decisions just on my word. I feel once SegWit does get activated on Litecoin, the price will start going down. Just because the most of the focus is really on for Bitcoin, really SegWit for Bitcoin. Yes, people might still have Litecoin, but I think most of the focus would be on Bitcoin once it's activated on Litecoin, because that's the main thing that people want it on. So long term, would I hold more Litecoin than Bitcoin? No, I would definitely hold more Bitcoin, because that seems to what people want SegWit to be on, more than Litecoin. They just want it on Litecoin to test it out. So I don't really think I will buy it right now. I'm not knocking Litecoin. It's actually pretty good for Bitcoin. It's definitely something that's needed for Bitcoin, as you could all tell. With this whole scaling issue, I feel like we're going to need to use Litecoin a couple more times before this pony is dead. So having it around is definitely good. It's definitely a good test net for Bitcoin, because we're going to need it. And I see Monero's not really getting that much love. I don't know what's going on. I know now no one's really talking about Monero, but I feel privacy is definitely a #1 thing. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm not going to knock Monero. Monero is definitely a good coin to have. For me, I'm into it. It's just I wish there was more wallets to put it in besides the GY wallet. I'm sure later on that might be resolved, but as for right now, there's not that many places to put it. But I do like the whole privacy aspect. I think out of all the cryptocurrencies, that's probably the most private one. As we all could tell, right now there's actually something being talked about how Bitcoin, there's going to be a way to tax you just by going through your Bitcoin transactions or something like that. Like if you use Coinbase, they'll kind of be able to tell how much you have and how much you traded, how much you use. I don't know how truthful that is. I'm not going to sit there and say it's definitely 100% truthful. It's just something I've been hearing, and I want to put out there. Maybe you guys heard a little bit more and it can fill me in. So I'm kind of nervous about that because that means that you're being kind of watched. Now, I don't know. I'm not spreading FUD. Just want to know for sure. To clear that up for myself, because I want to know for myself. I'm not saying it's true. I just want to know. So if someone else knows, please let me know. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much really all I gotta say on this aspect. If you're holding any of these top altcoins, you're doing pretty well for yourself. I'm not trying to promote a bunch of altcoins, but let's be realistic. I got to see Bitcoin jump from $1,030 all the way to $1,800, and what I noticed as it's going up, all these other coins are starting to go up as well. But I do realize once Bitcoin flew up really fast, the coins start to drop down in value. Because it's almost like everyone's just dropping the altcoins trying to buy Bitcoins and then now starting to slowly come back into the altcoins. Once Bitcoin settles down a little bit, I started to realize that altcoins, it's not like Bitcoin killed off the altcoins. It's just when Bitcoin does really fast, powerful moves, that's when it starts sucking up a lot of the altcoins up. And eventually once Bitcoin starts settling down a little, not being so bullish, some of the money starts flowing right back into altcoins. So it's kind of a win-win. So as Bitcoin goes up, I started seeing the altcoins starting to go up. So if you're holding altcoins, who knows? It might, years from now, start to be ridiculously expensive. But I'm sure Bitcoin will be way, way, way more expensive. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm going to leave it here. And I'm over here rambling on, but like, oh man. But yeah, guys, if you can hit that like and subscribe button, it definitely helps me out. Like I said, I'll be uploading Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, 1 o'clock Eastern. So yeah, guys, I'll check you out next time. See ya.